subscribe. That was the quickest intro that I've ever done. Like, when I first started doing these types of videos, the longest I would have is like a freaking 1 minute intro or a 50-second intro. But now it literally like not even a second. Crazy. I love the new intro. Anyways, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about something important that I feel that I should make a life lesson video on. And this is just something that I want you guys to make sure that you know, make sure that you understand, and you might not truly and fully believe it, all right? I'm going to make a couple of statements here, okay? For this video, let's say, for example, you do something criminal, such as just any crime, except for jaywalking. It doesn't really harm anybody too much. I don't think so, at least. The point is if you do a bad and damaging crime that is pretty much close to unforgivable, all I'm going to say is that if you do that and then you feel bad about doing it, the best you can do is, just reflect on what you've done, and, it sucks that you did it, but at least you feel bad for what you've done. I don't really have, I'm not really going to speak much on that because I don't really know exactly what to say on that. Who knows, I might make a video later this year, but all I'm making a video on is if you do minor things that embarrass yourself, or you do things that slightly harm others, like, I'm not talking about physical, but just slightly harm others, like annoy them or whatever, all right? And there's one big statement I want to make, okay? It is okay if you do something like that that slightly harms someone. And what I mean by slightly harm is, best example I could give is if you're if you and your ex are broken up, and you go and you proceed to annoy the crap out of them, even if you don't even fully realize that you are doing so. That is like the biggest example I'm giving here. Or, for example, if you have said some negative things in the past, and like one of your family members or one of your friends got upset, or if you did a habit a lot in the past that annoyed people, like, he's always like bragging about himself and stuff. There's one thing I want to say. If you do minor inconvenience things like that, and if you are sorry for what you've done, and if you reflect on what you've done, and if you change your ways, then there is no way that you should feel bad about it. All right? It's what happened in the past, and don't let it bring you down. Everyone at one point in their lives acts naive. By the way, I messed up the placing on this. I did most of the placing off camera because I didn't really want to do the replacing. Yeah, most of the replacing off the camera because I didn't want to do it on camera. It's boring. But anyways, everyone is stupid when they're younger. Everyone starts off stupid. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone acts annoying. Don't let yourself constantly be embarrassed by that. There is a statement I do want to make. Sometimes you'll act that way, and, the friends that you had at the time will stop being friends with you. The statement that I want to make on that is that, it's unfortunate that you lose friends over you, not being the best version of yourself. The best thing you can do is, move on. Try and find a new friend. And if that friend notices your changes in your behaviors and wants to be friends with you again, that's good. And you could even try going and talking to the person, saying, hey, I'm really sorry for what I've done. I hope you can forgive me. If you really don't think I can change anytime soon, if you don't think you really want to be friends with me, that's completely fine. But if you ever reconsider, I'd appreciate that. I'm really sorry for what I've done in the past, and I'm moving forward. I'm trying to be as good as possible. Here is something that I want to say to everyone. Whenever don't overthink about it, like, don't think too hard about it. But if there's certain things that start getting your friends annoyed, put yourself in their shoes. You know, a big thing that I want to say is do not talk about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again unless it's a stupid little inside joke that you and your friend joke around about all the time. Yeah, don't worry, you go in VR. I'm not dissing on the freaking inside jokes that we make. Make sure you don't talk about the same thing over and over again. That's what I'm going to say on that. Because it gets boring. It gets old. And even if it's about like an ex or if it's about, a crush or something, don't over talk about it. No matter what it is, especially if it's an ex, don't over talk about it. I will say one thing right here. People do need to talk about stuff to get over it, like trauma or heartbreak or whatever the hell it is. But you cannot sit there and dwell on it forever. That is extraordinarily pathetic. You need to eventually move on at some point, all right? And some people may not like me saying that. Some people may get offended, but that's the hardcore truth. Also, another thing I want to say is, offensive jokes that you sometimes say to your friends privately that they do not care about. Jokes that are offensive to them. No matter how much someone says they don't really care if you talk about that, and like say that offensive joke that'll offend them, do not make those jokes in general. All right? That's my advice. If it's a different type of situation where it's like not even that offensive, like how sometimes I'll bring up that freaking Gigabacon said to Ace of Spades right to his face and right on his stream that he doesn't really like Transformers. I talk about it from time to time, but like I'm not really going to talk about it anymore. It's old. The moment's passed, and still it is offensive. Now, if it's more offensive, I wouldn't make the jokes at all right? Like, for example, I can't really think of anything. I'm not good at examples, but the point is that steer clear from offensive jokes. Like, if your friend is fine being called fat, don't make fat jokes towards them. Absolutely not. No matter how much they say they don't care, it's best not to. It's polite. Even if they don't directly say it, subconsciously, overall, over time, it is a lot more polite, and I'm sure your friend will appreciate you more, if not subconsciously appreciate you more. Because that's negative stuff, even if they don't get offended by it, it's still negative words. It's still, bringing them down in some sort. It's best to only, say positive things, all right? If you have made all of these mistakes, it's best that you reflect on it and don't dwell on it. Don't let it drag you down. Just focus on the future. Focus on being a better version of you. Focus on yourself, all right? Focus on yourself. Be a nice person. Don't be annoying to people. Focus on yourself. And there are some people out there in the world who cannot help these things. Most commonly people with autism. And if that's the case, that's all right. All right. If anyone is friends with a person with like autism or something, what I want to say to you is, be lenient with them. Understand that they're going to be different, okay? Understand that, okay? Being friends with someone with a disability is difficult. More difficult than, well, not difficult, but I'm saying it's more difficult than being friends with a person without that, all right? But it's best to always, try to be friends with someone who has that disability, be there for them. And try and suck up the moments that they're being offensive. If you have a bad mental state and you really cannot, and if they, happen to start saying a lot of offensive things that they don't really mean to say, obviously, because they have a disability, then it's best to, distance yourself, obviously, all right? And just, let people who have better mental states be friends with people with disabilities. That's my opinion on everything. All right. If you guys have opinions that differ, I'd like to hear them in the comment section below. All right. Like, what is your take on all of this? I want to hear all your takes on all of this, all right? But that is what I truly believe. You know, I believe, yeah, you should still definitely be friends with anyone as long as they're not a bad person. All right? As long as they're not a bad person, be friends with them. Be friends with them. Now, I will get into specifics so that people don't get confused. Obviously, like, for example, if it's an ex, you know, that's a whole entire different thing. Don't be friends with them until you know that you're 100% fully over them. Here's how to test it out. If you see them online on a Roblox game, if you see them online on Discord, or if you see them in public, is your brain gonna constantly care? Do you constantly think, wait, they're not spending time with me? Wait, they're on here. If your brain constantly worries about that, then you're not over them. That's the truth. But if you truly do not care and they seem like just a random person to you anymore, then that's when you know you truly are over them, all right? Little random tip at the end of the video there.